you to take any of the old motions and speak to it. Is it something that is still in you? Is it something that you're forgetting about? Tell me, Esmond.
Well, it's something that's still in us because we don't just necessarily chew and pour, no. We understand it. So even if like it comes to a point where you're on stage, maybe you forget a word, we can still come back because we understand what you are saying. We can phrase it in many different ways because, yes.
You know, we chose the motions carefully. Some were social, some were economic, some had political, because we wanted to understand from your age what you perceive of the situation we have on hand. So we talked about ex gratia, we talked about the term of office for presidents, we talked about many other things. Now, listening to you gives us confidence and hope that the future looks bright for this country. What do you think we ought to do? And I'll bring Frederick in. I want to hear from you, Joshua and Esben. What will it take for you to grow up to become game changers and not to necessarily follow the status quo? Where even now as we speak, but for 2 days ago when we sat on radio, we did a lot of noise about a new LI that has been placed before Parliament. And the LI says that members of Parliament and ministers of state, they want to pass a law that says they can drive with sirens. When in traffic, they can just drive out of the traffic, blaring their sirens, and drive without any speed limit. After speaking, they have, withdrawn that LI. My question that I want an answer to is this. Based on what you have done, the responses, the debates, the things that you spoke about, how or what would it take for us to make sure that you believe in it, and as you grow through your years, going to the university, coming out or graduating, it is still something you believe in. So wherever you find yourself, whether you're working as a politician or working as a doctor or working as a teacher, you still believe in those things for the good of Ghana. What will it take for us to have that thing in you?
Well, the Luv FM contest has actually allowed us to know a lot of things, understand a lot of things concerning these political matters and issues in the nation. And yes, indeed, like we've not only gotten to understand it as in to come and speak, it has also stuck in us. We get to understand the actual political situation of the nation and what we need to do in order to better the economy of the country. And yes, indeed, when we grow up, it will be something that will not depart from us. It will still remain with
When
us.
you grow up, what do you want to become? What's the profession you're eyeing to enter?
Well, okay, when I grow up, I'd like to become an architect, actually.
Okay.
Yes.
So you want to be in the built environment at K University. Joshua, have you believed in the things you delivered on stage?
Yes,
Do you believe in it so much so that when you grow, you think that it's something that you're going to work with? So that if, let's say, you find yourself in an area where people are not doing the right things, you still will stand out, even if you are standing alone and speak against it.
Sure.
You sure?
Yes, please.
When you also grow, what do you want to become?
Mechanical engineer.
Mechanical engineer. Why?
Yes, growing up, I've had interest in engineering stuff, so I really love to be.
Now, before I come to you, Frederick, I would like to speak to Baba. But whilst I'm speaking to Baba, you push your chair and break up this microphone, Frederick. Let's speak to this microphone. Baba, as a school, what are you also doing to ensure that they don't just pass through the school, but even when they complete and they're out in the world at the university, have graduated from the university, they are still doing the right things?
Thank you. You see, all the debate motions, as you rightly stated, were carefully selected. And sitting back, I listened and then watched a lot of the contest. Most of the motions were geared towards solving problems in the society.
Yeah.
For instance, if you look at the ex gratia motion, it was between Our Lady of Grace and Okes. I was teaching literature in a certain school, a certain private school then. But I managed to listen whilst I was teaching. Is that right? Because I was done.
You were teaching in a private school?
Yes.
You are doing locum?
Yes.
You heard myself say you said you have time to go do locum.
Yes. I didn't have a class then.
He doesn't play with his work.
Yes, I don't play with my work.
Okay.
So I had to still manage to listen because that was a motion that I was looking forward to. I said, okay, ex gratia. It's been in the system. People have spoken about it. And the moment it is mentioned, people get angry. Is that right?
Yeah.
People get angry. So I wanted to listen to the sides of the argument, how it will go. So I did not want to miss it.
Okay.
Is that right?
Okay.
And in fact, it was perfectly delivered by both sides. Is that right? Those who spoke for and then who spoke against the motion. Perfectly delivered. If you listen to our argument on the rising cost of living, whether it should be blamed on government or not,
Yeah.
very interesting motion. Is it the case that yes, everything that happens we should blame it on government, or there is another way?
We're
Is that
lifestyle-
right?
the lifestyle
So
of the
this
person.
is also geared towards solving a particular problem in the country. And then the vehicle insurance motion. You see, a lot of
If I tell you how that, so we're having a meeting, I said, like, 2 days ago, insure my vehicle. I'm like, I keep paying my insurance and I don't see the benefit of what I'm deriving from it. So I mentioned it, and then Dr. Peter Arthur said, yeah, actually, David, let's frame emotion out of it. And that's how it came by. So for me, the question again is, how are we ensuring that these things, as they grow, they'll still believe in it and work with it? All we're trying to do is we want to see a changed Ghana, a better Ghana, an improved Ghana. How do we ensure that these young ones, from Frederick to Joshua to Esben, believe in what they have delivered, and as they grow, still will be a part of them?
David, you have no idea. After the motion, I was going to school, and when I boarded a trotro, some passengers were discussing it.
Which one? Which of the motions?
Vehicle insurance.
Oh, okay.
Because a police officer has stopped a driver and was inspecting. And then you know the usual thing that they do. And then somebody said, I did win and no more come once more Luv FM near the school be yes, high school phone papa. You know, we spoke that it should be scrapped.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And the points that we delivered, I should have recorded it and brought it for us to play.
I would have loved it. And you know, when we talked about it, Ezra Shabe, 2 days after the debate, the Speaker of Parliament was in Kumasi. And then 2 days after the debate, he had met with the media and had said, listen, it is something that has to be scrapped.
The discussion.
Yes.
Okay.
So it tells you that the Speaker,
Bargain.
it tells that he himself had listened.
Okay.
And was it a day after? No, it was 2 days
I
after.
think it's the same thing with the part thing too.
The sanitary pad thing. Yes, we did something last year on the sanitary pad. And then, you know, I've forgotten the member of parliament's name. He also raised concerns about it, that it has to, the taxes on it has to be removed. So we're making an impact.
Yes. So what I tell these boys is that you see all the motions that we are working on. You are the future leaders.
Yeah.
If you look at our ages and then their ages, whether we like it or not, they will come and then build the country for us. So they should carry what they are doing right now till they grow, and then make sure they also impact positively on our country,
Definitely.
because this is what we have.
Frederick, so you tell me this. When you grew up, what profession do you want to enter into?
Oh, I want to become a medical doctor.
You want to become a medical doctor?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, actually, I find interest in helping people, so I see the medical doctor profession as an opportunity, which will give me as an opportunity in helping people.
Well, listeners, initially we said we're not going to activate the phone lines, but we're activating the phone lines right now. You've heard from